Hello and welcome. Today is a Beauties Empties video. I have not made a Beauties Empties in about 4 months, so I have a ton to get through. I'm super excited to share with you. I enjoy watching Beauty Empties videos and I'm really enjoying making them. I think it's just the opportunity. I mean, it seems weird to go through someone's trash, but I think it's really fun because we get the opportunity in one video to see a lot of different products, what people thought about them and what they will bother repurchasing. And so I think it's just a really fun way to get a lot of information about what people are enjoying in one video. I'm going to organize this because there's so much to go through in body care, skin care for the face, then some hair care and a little bit of makeup that I've used up. So you can jump around in the video if you have a particular type of beauty product that you're looking for, or interested in hearing about. So I'm going to dump this out and get going. The noise. But we're going to get going. I'm going to start off with the body products that I've used up over the last few months. And if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I love the Murad AHA BHA Exfoliating Cleanser. Now this is meant as a facial cleanser, but I love it as a once a week body exfoliation treatment. And it has chemical and physical exfoliation, but it's really hydrating and it whisks away all my flaky skin. And then I can come in with my Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Also finished up one of these guys, and this is the fragrance-free formula. I put this on damp skin right out of the shower and then follow up with a body oil. One body oil that I absolutely have loved, this is a bit of a luxury product. It's by Demamiel. It's a beautiful botanical body oil, and it took me a while to finish up because I used it kind of sparingly because it is kind of a luxury product. But I finally used it up. It won't be a repurchase. It's kind of a high price point for me personally for a body product, but maybe for something special, maybe. I haven't quite decided, but I really love this product. If you love body oils, this is a great one to treat yourself to. The more typical body oil that I'll use is either one from Eucerin, their AHA. I haven't quite finished my latest tub, the AHA body lotion. And I recently tried the Eucerin Intensive Repair Restores Radiance Essential Oil Balm. Oh, that's a mouthful, but this is a really nice body oil. And I barely have enough, but it's a balm, kind of a creamy balm oil. I can't really explain it any other way, but it's a lovely product. It is a slightly too greasy for me. I probably won't be repurchasing it, maybe for winter months because it is so occlusive. You need just the littlest amount and it just spreads beautifully, but it's kind of like a balm to oil texture. It's one of their newer products. So I'm kind of on the fence about repurchasing this. It probably won't be till closer to the winter time, but for summer months, I like kind of a lighter oil, like a squalane oil as my last step after showering. This is the Mother Dirt squalane oil, and I would just stick with the ordinary, put either a few drops in your moisturizer or just right in your hands, and just a light body oil for squalane oil. I do love a light squalane oil as the last step. Next up for a body product that I finished up, let me dig through this here. Oh, here is another one that I transferred from a facial cleanser to a body cleanser. This is the Olay, it's kind of banged up here, the Olay Regenerist, the Collagen Peptide 24. I thought this would be a great facial cleanser, but it ends up having physical exfoliant, and I really just don't like that feeling on my face, so I ended up using this as a body exfoliating product. It worked fine. I won't be repurchasing. Like I said, it was kind of a mistake because I didn't realize it had a physical exfoliant as a facial cleanser. It's creamy. I didn't find it any more hydrating than any body cleanser, soap bar, anything like that. So I definitely will not be repurchasing. I usually use the Eucerin oil as a body cleanser, and I've reviewed that in other videos in my body care video, and I'll pop that up here. I haven't quite finished that up yet, but let's see, another body product. This is also a face product that I switched over to body products. I like to do that. If it's something I'm not enjoying for the skin of my face, I just always just flop it over into my body care, and so I can use it up and be efficient that way. This is the Ren Clarifying Cleanser, and it's a clay-based cleanser, and it's just a little bit too drying for my dry skin. If you have normal to oily skin, I think you'd really like this cleanser. It has a beautiful spa-like scent, and that was one reason that I really enjoyed it as a body cleanser. And it was quite moisturizing as a body cleanser, but just a little bit too drying for me as a facial cleanser. We're going to move on to skincare for the face. I'm going to start off with the cleansers that I used up. I'm going to start with my balm cleansers. This is the Emma Hardy Balm Cleanser. This is a beautiful, gorgeous Moringa Balm Cleanser. Now, if you like a first step balm cleanser that rinses completely clean, you're not going to like this. This leaves a slight oily residue. I prefer it more in the winter than in the summer months just because of that. There's a little bit here you can see. I think I mostly love this because it smells like orange blossoms. It's delicious. And it's not necessarily super cheap either. It's kind of more of a luxury balm cleanser. If you're looking for a drugstore balm cleanser that's absolutely amazing, try the e.l.f. Hydration. It's called Holy Hydration. Love this. Super affordable. Rinses clean, emulsifies completely clean, but leaves your skin really hydrated, but without sort of that sort of slight oily residue. So this is great year round, all skin types, super affordable. Love this balm cleanser. Gets the makeup off, and it says melt. I think it's called the makeup melt away cleansing balm, and it does. It will melt the makeup away. Holy Grail, the Ordinary Squalane Cleanser. Love it. It is a cream to balm to oil cleanser. It just is a beautiful, very affordable cleanser. You can use it as a one and done. You can do your double cleanse with this. If you only use one cleanser, this is it. It's affordable, it works beautifully, and I absolutely love it. It's unscented, fragrance free. So this is constantly on my repurchase list. All right, let's move on. Oh, one more kind of a creamy cleanser. It's called the Clean It Zero. Now it says, I think it's marketed as a balm cleanser, but this is a creamy cleanser. As you can see, there's a little tiny bit left, sort of, kind of. It's a very cream cleanser. This will not get off tenacious makeup that I haven't noticed that it will on the first go round. And it emulsifies pretty well. It rinses clean, but I don't feel that it actually melts that makeup away. If you're wearing any makeup, I don't think this is going to work for you. But if it's a no makeup day for you, this could be perfect for a double cleanse. But if you have waterproof makeup or waterproof sunscreen on, I don't think this is going to quite be enough, even if you used it as a double cleanse. So for me, the Clean It Zero won't be a repurchase. I know people love it, but like I said, I just haven't had the experience of getting everything off that I would like in a balm cleanser. All right, next up, let's do some face moisturizers. One of my absolute faves is the Aveeno Calm and Restore. This is kind of a gel cream texture. It's very unusual, but it's super hydrating. I like it for both summer and winter months. I use it year round. A great affordable drugstore cleanser, moisturizer. It has that sort of light, bouncy texture, but super creamy and hydrating as well. And I have reviewed this before. I believe it was in my summer skincare video that I did just recently. So I'll pop that up here too. All right, more moisturizers and facial serums. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, here's a mist that I finished up by Zellens. This is their Fortifying D Mist. I will not be repurchasing this. This tends to sting my skin on occasion. Vitamin D is supposed to be calming and reduce redness, but I did not find that that was the case with this. I found it kind of stung a little bit. I used it more kind of as a body mist to finish up the last bits of it. If you have sensitive, dry skin, probably not your best pick for a mist. All right, toners. I love the Lotion P50. I made the mistake of having this as one of my very first exfoliating toners, and that was a mistake. If you are new to chemical exfoliation, do not start out with Lotion P50. It is really potent stuff. It has AHA, BHAs, and I believe polyhydroxy acids too, but it is really strong. I believe the AHA in here is glycolic. I know it has lactic and salicylic. If you have some breakouts and you are used to chemical exfoliants, then this is a great product to use. It is on the expensive side. Because you get 5 ounces and it takes so long to use up, I'm not sure. It's not the most expensive. I would call it mid-range because of the quantity that you get. It took me a long time to finish this up. I really like it, but only on those special occasions when I really need a kind of a once a week deep chemical exfoliation, kind of like the Ordinary's AHA, BHA peel. It's not something you would use on a regular basis. If you want something you use more on 2 to 3 days a week basis, you might try the Masama Gentle Exfoliating Toner. And I'll put a picture of that up here. I like that kind of more on a sort of multiple days of the week. I would only use this once a week or once every other week. It's pretty harsh because it's a leave-on product, so it kind of continues to work. And make sure you put sunscreen if you're using an exfoliating toner. Make sure you put your sunscreen on after that because your skin can get a little bit on the sensitive side. Another skincare product that I used up is a Masama product. It's their Green Robust Serum. Love this product. I use it before my LED mask. So always use an antioxidant before your LED mask. That's what I really prefer to do that, just sort of to mitigate any free radical formation. The reason I don't use it straight on my skin during the day is because of the tint. Let's see if there's any left in here. Yeah, it's kind of an orange tint. If you can see, there's a little tiny squirt left in there. I actually might be able to get a little bit more out of that. It leaves kind of an orangey tint to my skin, which I don't really like. for my particular complexion, it's just too strong of a tint. So I usually do it before my LED, rinse it off, then go on with my evening skincare or do a small pump with a moisturizer. Next up, I repurchased the replacement cartridges for both my microneedling tool and my dermaplaning tool. These are by Stacked. The dermaplaning tool comes with reusable heads that you can purchase, and you only use them once a month. So I have several of those that I've actually tossed out, and the microneedling tool as well. It just comes with a replaceable head for microneedling. And I was doing microneedling more often, but I've been getting some breakouts, so I've had to kind of tamp back my microneedling routine. This is a cosmetic microneedling tool, so it is meant for daily use, but if you have skin breakouts, then you should not be using it, or if you have sensitive skin or any kind of dermatitis or any kind of irritation on your skin, you don't want to be microneedling over that. So I have had to slow down on my daily microneedling. I was doing it about every other day, so about 4 days a week, but I have had to take a break from that because I've been getting lots of breakouts. So. Brow skincare. This is a conditioning brow cream that you can use to help regrow your brows. Now, I didn't find this worked all that well. I actually prefer using my Bimatoprost and the Revitalash for brow growth, and I've gone through both of those. And I use these on an alternating basis for my lash line and for my brows. And over the last several years, I've been able to regrow all my brows that I overplucked over the years. But I didn't really find the Benefit brow conditioning primer of much benefit, I'll have to say. Okay, that's brow skincare. Oh, and eye care. I use the Lumi drops just to kind of brighten my eyes, and these I use with contacts with no problem. So I went through a bottle of those. Any more skincare? Let's see. I don't think so. I think that's it for skincare. So let's move on. Oh, I have one more balm cleanser, the Soap and Glory. Sorry, I left that out of our rotation. This is Soap and Glory balm cleanser. I actually like this a lot. It melts away the makeup. It's very similar to the e.l.f. Hydrating Holy Hydration. Very similar products. I say the e.l.f. works a little bit more for getting waterproof makeup off. This one was good, but not as good as the e.l.f. So that was my experience. They're so similar in texture. So not too much to say about this. I'm not going to repurchase because this one I think is a little bit cheaper and works just as well, if not slightly better. All right. Skincare, last but not least, the Alpha Arbutin by The Ordinary. I was using this along in combination with the vitamin C, the L-ascorbic vitamin C by Curology, which I accidentally tossed out in the regular garbage instead of my little Empties container that I was keeping. But the vitamin C by Curology is an L-ascorbic compounded formula that they make especially for me, and I've really been enjoying that, but I'm on a break from that. And I did a video on how well this, in combination with the vitamin C by Curology plus a couple brightening products that I was using in combination, really took away some of the pigment that I was having along sort of my cheek area. And I will link that video up above, but I'm taking a break from my Curology vitamin C to kind of experiment with vitamin Cs. There are a lot of new derivatives out, and I'm really curious about how they work and if they're as helpful as the L-ascorbic acid Holy Grail vitamin C. So I'm on a little bit of an experiment, and I'll be finishing that up, I think mid-fall. So I'll get back to you on that. Next up for skincare, we're going to jump into SPFs. Now, I'm just going to really briefly mention these Purito sunscreens. I didn't end up completely finishing them, but because of the sunscreen controversy on the amount of protection they were giving you, I'm tossing them out, and I've replaced them with their new launch, I think it's called the Go-To sunscreen. And let's move on to a sunscreen that I did enjoy. It's the K sunscreen. It came in my Sephora Sun Kit this year. Absolutely enjoyed this, but you have to be very careful. It has a pretty tint. If you use the Color Science Glow, this is not quite as glowy as that. And it is a chemical sunscreen, whereas the Color Science is a mineral. But it's a little less glowy and a little closer to my skin tone, but it is a chemical sunscreen. And if I get it anywhere near my eyes, I just tear all day long. I have to wash it off. And anyway, so that I probably won't be repurchasing this because I prefer the Color Science Glow. This is a little bit less glowy. So if the Color Science Glow is too much for you, you might prefer this if you can tolerate a chemical sunscreen. But I do like lots of chemical sunscreens, but this one is just particularly irritating around my eyes. So I won't be repurchasing. But a fun way to test out a ton of sunscreens is to get the Sephora Sun Kit, because you can test out like 10 different sunscreens for like $30. So it's a great way to find one of your Holy Grail sunscreens. I'll put that video that I did up here of the review for this year up above. and you can go check that out because I think they still had some in stock last I looked. All right, another sunscreen product that we go through a lot in our house is the Vanna Cream Lip Sunscreen. This is SPF 30, and I typically use it under one of my lippies for a lip sunscreen. A lip sunscreen that I didn't like that's off to the garbage is the Coola lip sunscreens. They are slightly tinted. This one was kind of one of their kind of skin rosy tinted ones, but they crumble, they're drying, and this will not be a repurchase. But I have gotten a recommendation for their sunscreen spray mist, 30 SPF, I believe, and I'm really curious to try that. I don't think I've ever tried an SPF spray. And I definitely haven't reviewed one for you guys. I tend to kind of steer away from them, especially for the face, but I'm really curious about that one. So I will probably be purchasing the Coola SPF spray mist. You know how I love a mist. And actually, I haven't gotten through. Oh, this was the only mist that I got through. Usually I get through a couple mists, but I guess I haven't. I'm trying about 5 or 6 right now. So kind of rotating through them. All right, next up is a sunscreen for face and body. I always have one of these in my empties or 2. I think I've already thrown one out, but this is the Evie, their Daily Defense Muse. We use the body formulas and the face formulas around here. This is a foam. There's a little bit of foam left in here. It's a foam sunscreen. You use about a golf ball size amount for the face. And it is one of the advanced chemical sunscreens, and we love it around here. It's really great waterproof sunscreen. It lasts for a long time, and this one is fantastic if you like outdoor sports. And I actually use it for the face, and it is a chemical sunscreen, but I don't get it near my eye. I usually use a mineral sunscreen around the eye area, but this doesn't sting as much as some of the chemical sunscreens can do. So this is always in my empties and always a repurchase. All right, any more SPFs? Oh, one SPF, also by Color Sciences, they're all calm. It takes me a long time to get through this because I use this only on rare occasions as a cover up. It's kind of like cannot get any more out of here, but it's kind of like it's a slightly green tint to it to kind of counteract redness. So it really does a great job for counteracting redness. It's an all mineral, so it's non-irritating, and it's great if you have some breakouts or some melasma that you're trying to keep the sun off. This is great. So I would definitely recommend this if you have redness and you're trying to do a little bit of camouflage and also have a great sunscreen. It might not be great for all skin tones, probably if you're Fitzpatrick 1 or 4, but anything in between, I think you'd appreciate this. All right, I think that's the end of the sunscreens. Let's move on to hair care. I just have a few hair care products that I've gotten through. This is the Dry Texture Spray, number 6 by Kenra. I found this about a year ago. Absolutely love it for styling and for in-between shampoos. I always have this on rotation. It gives a little root boost lift. It kind of can work kind of as a dry shampoo. It can work for short styles. You can just spritz it and kind of position it with your fingers, but it's not too heavy or too sticky. Absolutely love the Kenra Dry Texture Spray and always have a can of that going. Also another fave from, I think it's from the 80s, the Kenra 25. I have a big one of it that I'm still getting through. There's a little bit left of it, but the Kenra 25 hairspray, absolutely adore it. Have used it, I think, since it came out. Love it. Probably one of your faves too. I think that's one more hair product is the Pureology dry shampoo. Like I said, I only shampoo my hair about every 5 days, so I like to use a dry shampoo in between just to keep it refreshed. And this is the Refresh and Go dry shampoo by Pureology. I don't like the scent. It doesn't fade. I don't mind having a scent in my hair if the scent kind of tends to fade during the day, but if I can still smell it, I know it's really powerful for people around me. And it really just didn't do a great job at oil control. So this will not be a repurchase for me. All right, let's move on to one more body product, but this is kind of an outlier. This is the self tanning drops, the Isle of Paradise self tanning drops. Love these. They come in the Sephora Sun Kit. This is about all I would use in a summer season. Our summer season here is pretty short, but I use about 6 drops, and lately I've been putting it into the Dermatology water cream. It's perfect, dries right down, doesn't transfer to your clothes, gives a perfect little bit of glow to my legs to kind of just a very slight cover up so I'm not quite so ghostly white. So I finished up one of those, and you can get that in the Sephora Sun Kit. All right, on to some makeup and lip care. Let's start off with the lip care. This is a CoverGirl. I'm just throwing this out. I just can't get through it. It's too matte. I don't like the color. It's too, I don't know. It's a pretty dusty rose color, but once I get it on and once it dries down, it just doesn't look, really just doesn't look that great. You would think it would because it's kind of a cool tone, but it's just too drying, and I don't like the way that it kind of is too drying for my lips, even if I put some moisturizer on underneath. Anyway, this is going in the garbage purely because I just can't seem to finish it. And let's see, a concealer that I finished up and I do not recommend is, people are really gaga over this, but this is the e.l.f. concealer. I found it was too light. I have really light skin. It's too light, too bright. It's the little brush is really hard to control the application of it. All right, next up is another product I have to reach for because I'm rid of it. It is the CoverGirl Garnier. I'm sorry, it is not CoverGirl. It is the Garnier Clear and Brightly. I finished one of these up. I actually really like this concealer. It's got a rollerball application. Sometimes it gets a little messy in the head of it. There's really not much left to show you, but it's an easy application. You just tap a little bit in the corners, kind of brightens things up under your eye. I'll be repurchasing. I actually like this concealer. It isn't too kind of white and ghostly looking. It's just kind of the right tone for just a little bit of cover up, a little bit of brightening. It's a super easy product to use. The only complaint I have is sometimes if it ends up being stored upside down, it can kind of leak into the lid and get kind of messy. But I do like this, and you can buff it out really easily with a little makeup brush. Okay, next up is a group of mascaras that I finished up. This is the Hourglass, the Unlocked. It was really hard to finish up. It was clumpy. It didn't go on nicely. I won't be repurchasing. Enough said. And this is the Tarte mascara. It was okay. It's their Lashes and Lights, I think. I bought a mini just to try it out. It was okay, nothing special, not necessarily a repurchase for me. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex. I always had this on rotation. I tried lots of mascaras. I did like this. I always loved their kind of beveled brush. This is just super dried out and kind of done. It was a mini size, but I always have one of these usually going. So I definitely will be repurchasing the Too Faced mascara. Another mascara is a mini that I had in my purse, the Benefit They're Real. You know, if you've been around, I love this mascara, use it all the time, and it's definitely a repurchase. It's on rotation constantly. One of my favorite mascaras. Another eye product, makeup eye product. This is the Tattoo Studios by Maybelline. It was a terrible. I wanted to use it for just as an eyeliner or a smudger. I just like to sometimes put a little bit of smudging in my eyelash line just to kind of make it look a little bit more defined and a little bit bushier for my brows. But I don't like this product. It's dried out really quickly. It was really difficult to use. It has a nice brow brush on the other end of it, but definitely not a repurchase for me. And the last but not least, a handful of Aquaphor lip tubes, which we go through around here, and another product, a mini product, a sample product by Eborian. I do love the Eborian CC cream. I have that in my makeup kit and I really enjoy that. But this is their glow cream. And let's see if I can get any out. Oh, let me see if there's a little, oh, there is a little bit left. Okay, so right here, you can see it's just kind of a highlighting cream. And I just couldn't really figure out how I would use this. It's a little too pink as a highlighter. It has fragrance. Anyway, it won't be a repurchase. It was just, I think I received it in a gift. So, and that is the end of my trash. I hope you enjoyed today's video and got some tips for what you might want to try and maybe some ideas for some new body care. I have a lot of body care that I went through recently. So take good care. I hope you enjoyed today's Empties video, and I'll see you in my next video, and have a fantastic day. Bye, everybody.